If you're going to throw it, if you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. And a huge play that time. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That good for 19 and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And they get the football, but not much on the return. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good-headed scheme going.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
On play action, Rosen. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Taylor. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now it's Peterson. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And 3 interceptions in this game that I would have to think. I wasn't a quarterback. But number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And give him a gain of 37. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Over! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Rosen. And it's caught. right at the 10-yard line. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Great corner out there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Breida. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He sets to this is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run with Breida. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not getting too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hit! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. Yeah. His guys get the quick strike touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Breida. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Garoppolo now. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And here now the offense heading back out there. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 11. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, give the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. He's going to let this one go deep. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Garoppolo again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They go play action here on 1st down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Forced out to his left. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Watching now, Barney! Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets past one man. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Rosen on 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Play action here with Rosen. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Rosen off the play action. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. Buying time to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. So now it's Rosen looking. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Check your backer, check your backer. Gun, 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 gun. Hot. Over. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Here's Rosen to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Eric Armstead in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. Fighting him off. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Rosen. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. 30, the 20. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. J.J. Nelson, an 80-yard touchdown. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken short. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. To throw is Garoppolo. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return is Peterson. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Rosen on first down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 23. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Play action. Now Garoppolo. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Robert Kindici in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Oh, Rosen's going to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Detroit!
On play action, Rosen. He's going to fire one deep up and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 48, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
11.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Hassan Reddick in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the home team here, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Somebody call for the queen. Dagger.
trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the folium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. You got the picture me. Pacific ice on my ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russia. Ladies should never look lucky. My diamonds, they my neck and my belly. They calling for me and they. You want me like you and I look. Yeah, I wreck so much. Yeah, B-Rex better calm down. Yeah, if you go around, come around. Yeah, hold up. Yeah, make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah, Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah, you can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. Dripping my swag. Dupe tag on. I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to keep the 100, like he trying to move it. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a million. The rats keep me up on the folium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new Bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to keep the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the folium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Tag on. I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general true.
Money back.